Hello, Namaste, Sim Privyat everyone. Welcome to our YouTube channel. In our last video, I have showed you how to make the diagram of neuron and human eye. Today, we will learn about the movement in plants from chapter Control and Coordination. Do you know the sensitivity in plants was first discovered by our own Indian scientist Acharya Jagdish Chandra Bose. We know that the animals show various kinds of movement. Have you seen the movement in plants? Do plants show movement? Yes, plants also show some kinds of movement which is in response to the environment. Let's see the movement in plants. Did you see the movement? The movement is shown by the plant Mimosa pudica. It is not Samosa pudica. Is this not a movement? But plants cannot show movement of locomotion like animals. Think plant gets the power of locomotion like animals, then this would be the scenario.
No.
Generally, plants show three kinds of movement, and they are tactic movement, tropic movement, and nastic movement. In tactic movement, some unicellular plants move from one place to another in response to the stimulus like light, temperature, heat, etc. Therefore, the tactic movement is the movement of whole body or cell of plants due to the external stimulus. For example, algae like Chlamydomonas and volvox show tactic movement. The next kind of movement is tropic movement. You must have observed that the shoot of the plants grow towards the light and roots of the plants grow away from the light. And if you place a potted plant near the window, the plant will bend and grow towards the light. That means the movement is dependent on the direction of the stimulus. Therefore, the tropic movement is the movement of plant parts in relation to direction of stimulus, either towards the stimulus or away from the stimulus. For example, shoot grow towards direction of the light and root grows away from the light. The third kind of movement is nastic movement. You must have seen the leaves of Mimosa pudica folds or droops when it is subjected to touch. Similarly, some flowers opens up when the amount of light is more and closes when the amount of light is less. That means here the direction of stimulus is not important, but intensity of stimulus is important. Therefore, nastic movement is the movement of plant parts in relation to intensity of the stimulus, and it is non-directional movement of plant parts. For example, leaflets of Mimosa pudica droops when subjected to touch, and insectivorous plants like Drosera and Venus flytrap move their parts to catch the prey. The movement of plant can be positive or negative. If the movement occurs towards the stimulus, then it is positive movement, and if the movement occurs away from the stimulus, then it is negative movement. Now, let's learn the different types of tropic movement. The first kind of tropic movement is Phototropism. In Phototropism, the movement of plant parts occurs in response to the light. Therefore, the movement of plant parts in response to the light is known as Phototropism or phototropic movement. For example, shoot grows towards the direction of light and show positive phototropism, whereas root grows away from the light and show negative phototropism. The second kind of tropic movement is geotropism. In geotropism, the movement of plant parts occurs in response to the gravity, like root grows towards the gravity. Therefore, geotropic movement is the movement of plant parts in response to the gravity. For example, root grows towards the gravity and show positive geotropism, whereas shoot grows away from the gravity and show negative geotropism. The next kind of tropic movement is hydrotropism. In hydrotropism, the movement of plant parts occurs in response to water. Like for example, roots grow towards the water. Therefore, hydrotropic movement is the movement of plant parts in response to the water. For example, root grows towards the water and show positive hydrotropism. The fourth kind of tropic movement is Thigmotropism. Here, the movement of plant parts occur in response to touch. For example, plant like pea needs support to grow, so the tendrils of the pea move towards the support. Thigmotropism is the movement of plant parts in response to the touch. Tendrils of pea plant grows towards the support and it shows positive Thigmotropism. The fifth kind of tropic movement is Chemotropism. Here, the movement of plant parts occur in response to the chemicals. For example, the pollen grain after sticking on the stigma produces pollen tube, and pollen tube grows towards the ovule for fertilization. Therefore, the chemotropic movement is the movement of plant parts in response to the chemicals. For example, pollen tube produced by the pollen grain move towards the ovules for fertilization, which is induced by the chemicals which are secreted by gynoecium, and they show positive chemotropism.